Alright, hey, Mega here, and this is going to be the install vlogs, alright, for the KO Moto factory spec controller, alright? So I've already got the KO Moto factory spec motor installed, alright, and I've ran it with my BSC 4000, alright? I did some testing with it, alright, and so here's some quick conclusions, is that, like, it works perfectly fine with the motor. The motor runs great with the BSC 4000. However, my BSC 4000... Electric Race Technologies BSC 4000 is busted, alright? There's something wrong with it, and like it doesn't like it when you push too much power through it, okay? But other than that, it runs great, alright? I think if the controller if I had a brand new BSC controller, it would probably run great, okay? But now we're gonna go install this bad boy, alright? I bought the combo set, and we're going to try this out. There's no way around it. I need a new controller, right? As much as I like the BSC 4000, it just seen better days type of thing, all right? So hopefully this one will last longer than the other one and give me way less headaches, okay? I had a lot of problem, man, in the early days of having this BSC controllers, man, tuning it is a real pain in the butt, okay? So hopefully KO Technologies has done a good job making it user-friendly and less buggy and stuff, right? Type of thing, right? Because I had all sorts of problems with the BAC 4000, but when it works great, okay? And that's when it works, though, okay? So hopefully we'll have more luck with this. One thing I'm not liking about the KO stuff is there's no instruction manuals for it, all right? There's some stuff online on how to tune the controller and stuff, but there's no documentation on how to install it, and all that stuff. And I'm not going to make an install video for this because my bike is like my bike is different than like pretty much everyone else's bike. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's got like special mounts, it's got a special heatsink in it. One thing we will do when I do have both of the controllers out is look, just do some side-by-side comparisons, and then we can weigh them, okay? This one should be heavier, right? Because it's got more meat, more capacitors, and all that good stuff in it. There's no way around it, guys. To make more power, you need more weight. All right, there's always a penalty, right? More weight, more power. Okay, there's no way around it. Okay, like I went from the BSC 2000 to the 4000. And then they have the 8000, that's even bigger, alright? So I'd imagine this is probably equivalent to a BSC 8000, maybe a little more power, but we'll see when we get it installed, okay? One thing I want to point out is that one thing I don't like about getting rid of my BSC 4000 controller is the regen throttle, alright? I'm going to miss my regen throttle, alright? I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to that, alright? Because I use my bike for racing, okay? So I have to change my whole riding style and everything now, okay? For going down hills, it's definitely good to have, alright? It's pretty dangerous when you're going down the hill and you can't slow down enough, And if you can slow down and put power back into the battery, that's even better, alright? But you can only do so much with this one, alright? Hopefully, in the future, KO Technologies incorporates something like that, alright? Unfortunately, there's nothing like that right now, okay? Okay, so Hayes Meg is just going to go uninstall the controller. I'm not going to get a video of it at all. I think it should take maybe like half an hour. One thing I have to do is I have to go find my old computer, alright, the speedometer, because I don't have that on here anymore, and we're running the NXT display. It's kind of like the KO Technologies little tuner gauge thing, all right? They're coming out with it. It's not out yet. It's supposed to come out in February or something. So I'm thinking of getting that. It allows you to tune this guy with pretty much a device very similar to the NXT display. So that just goes to show how far along ahead Alan's gadgets were. All right, he was already way ahead of the game. All right, but our KO Technologies is picking up where he left off type of thing. Okay. But it's only, but all I can say is like it's hard for like one guy, to do everything type of thing. And that was one of the, that was one of the problems with electric race technology. Just one guy doing everything. KO Tech is like a big company. They do a lot of stuff, all right? They don't only just do Suron and Talaria stuff. They do drone stuff. They do water sport stuff. Lots of stuff, and they're going to do like more motorsport stuff. So hopefully, the only problem is they're really expensive. So all I can say is if a company out there can make a controller and motor combo for less money than QS, you can do this. Then KO Technologies and match their performance, then they're a winner, okay? Type of thing, all right? That's my biggest gripe about the KO Tech stuff is expensive, all right? And I've already kind of pissed off at KO Technologies, all right? So here's my little story. I bought this. I ordered this in October, like the end of October, all right? And then they did have a Black Friday sale, all right? But that's not the thing that pisses me off. The thing that pisses me off is now they have free shipping. I paid $300 to ship this and the motor and controller combo, $300, all right? And then now they're saying there's free shipping. So what about me? Like, so I paid the $300. I could have saved $300 and I could have bought their swing arm, all right? So that's one of the things that kind of peeved me off, all right? Why is it that I have to pay like the $300 when I could have put that $300 towards like their swing arm or something? Yeah, so I've decided not to buy their swing arm type of thing. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm dumping too much money into this. If I had saved that $300 and just spent an extra $400 more, then yeah, I probably would have got it. All right, but I'm dumping too much money into this bike, and I'm kind of don't want to do that anymore. I'm not lying. I wrench on this bike more than any of my other bikes. That's the funny thing. It's an electric bike, right? You shouldn't have to, it shouldn't need more maintenance than all the other bikes that you own, but it does, all right? Literally, I'm working on this thing all the freaking time. I don't have time to work on any of my other bikes. Like this other bike behind me, man. I gotta do some work on that, but I'm constantly working on this thing, man. So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I beat the crap out of it all the time, so. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and uninstall this thing, and then the next video clip I'll let you guys know how it goes, and we'll do some quick comparisons. There's really not too much we can compare, and then we'll go and I have a third controller too. We can compare it to we can do a 3 controller comparison, just like a at a glance type of thing. We're just gonna look at them. That's all. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do it. Oh. There it is. BAC Electric Race Technologies BAC 4000. All right, it's got a massive heatsink on it. All right, this is the NXT display. So Electric Race Technologies was ahead of the game, man. I'm telling you. Okay, farewell, buddy. Alright, he's making us got the control out. Holy crap, is it dirty, man. I really gotta clean this bad boy. Alright, yeah. But anyway, yeah, water and dirt is not kind to that thing, man. Water and dirt and electronics don't mix, guys. Just want to say. Alright, so anyway, here's the rat's nest of wires that I still gotta sort out here. So one of the nice things about the KO Moto controller is that it doesn't require one of these, alright? A phase wire extension block, all right? So we don't have to use something like this anymore, all right? Typically there's ones like these that's just like a kind of, what is this? It's like kind of like a bus bar type of thing, all right? But it's not a bus bar type of thing. It just connects one part to another, all right? It's like terminal block. And then so the good thing is the controller mounts up like a stock controller, alright? So I'll probably have to get rid of these extension wings here, alright? This is all custom stuff. And then I can put my cowl back in, alright? The little plastic thing on the bottom. I can put that back in. Actually, I could have put that back in anyways. I took it out for the, what was it? That Votal controller? Yeah, it didn't fit with that, so. And then, yeah, we don't need this block anymore. These wires will go directly to the controller, alright? And we don't need these extension leads, so. Alright, and then now I can sell my Votal controller because I got this block thing back. So this was part of the kit. Okay, so the nice thing about this is it makes it easy to connect and disconnect the motor really quickly. I got it out really fast. I got it like in 10 minutes. Alright, yeah. So The other way to do it is to use shrink tubing and nuts and bolts. All right, that's one way to that's the best way to do it in my opinion. That's the cleanest way. You know, it doesn't take up as much space as this little block thing. However, it makes it a real pain in the ass to take it out. You got to undo the shrink tubing. You got to unbolt it, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So this is much easier. If you're gonna remove your controller a lot, it's good to have one of these guys. Okay, so yeah, I'll just clean up the rest of the wiring, and then we'll take a look at all the controllers, and then we'll install the new one. All right, here's Meg here, and there we go. I've got the controller out. All right, I've still got some stuff to take out of this bike. So I'm not gonna lie, dude. If my Sauron was like a stock Sauron, it'd probably be a lot easier to install this controller. There's a lot of goofy stuff going on with my bike. All right, so there's no side stand switch. I took the tilt sensor when I installed that controller out. Okay. I got some funky stuff going on with my lights. I don't have the stock computer installed. I believe that's what this is. All right, that's what that is right there. Okay. So the problem Hades Omega's kind of baffled with right now is there's 3 wires that come out. All right, there's actually technically 4, but there's 3 wires. I know what one of them is. There's 3 wires that come out of the harness for the KO Moto controller. All right. There's these 2. They look very familiar. All right. There's the white one and the black one. All right. One of these goes to the hall sensor. I think it's this one here. And then this one, that looks like it goes to the hall sensor. But anyway, these 2 look familiar. Those are the same ones that are on the Sauron harness. I mean, the Sauron, the ASI harness. See, the ASI uses these 2. Okay. But I don't have, there's no third one. The third one is this one, all right? This is the third one that's on the KO harness. I don't know where it goes. I don't have the stock freaking controller. I don't remember taking this thing out, man. As long as I've had this bike, I've never had a third thing that connected to the controller. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of at a loss here, guys. So I've watched some people's videos of them installing the KO Moto controllers, and this connects to a black plug, all right? And I cannot find a black plug on the main harness anywhere, man. So I guess, just in case you guys don't know, this is a Sauron MX, guys. This is the very first Sauron, all right? This is the classic Sauron, all right? And it's been very much modified since, you know, from the stock version. But anyway, this is the tilt sensor. I remember I took that out. The tilt sensor plugs into that. All right. However, that wire plugs into that wire from that harness. It plugs in. It can plug into this, but all the videos I watched, they plug into a black connector. All right. This is that rectangular connector, and this is that square one. All right. This one is the one that goes to the battery, and then yeah, there's another one over here. That's the Speedo. I gotta connect that, and then there's another one over here, but that's a rectangular one. Yeah, that's a 4-pin. We're looking for a 3-pin. Okay. So I can't find anything. All right. I don't know what it's for. I sent an email to KO Moto. Maybe, hopefully they'll reply soon. It can plug into a throttle box. All right. You can see here. This is black, and this is a throttle box. It will plug into this. Okay, there you go. See, it plugs in. But however, the throttle plugs in down here. The throttle's plugged in down here. All right, so I don't think that's it. This is the tilt sensor. As you can see, the connector is exactly the same as the tilt sensor. All right. However, this only has 2 pins coming out of it. See, 3 pins. 2 pins. There's 2. This is a 3-pin connector, but it only has 2 wires coming out of it. There's only 2 pins in it. So, what's this white wire here? This white wire has 3 pins in it and 3 wires coming out of it. And I looked at a Sauron Lightbee X diagram, and the wires match up to the tilt sensor. All right, there's a black, a green, and a black with a brown stripe wire. This is the tilt sensor, all right? So that definitely doesn't plug into the thing. So I'm kind of lost here, guys. I don't know where that wire. I didn't cut anything off of this harness or anything, you know. I don't know. Maybe there's a wire hiding up in here somewhere. No, there's some stuff here. This is the ignition switch. That's the USB thing, and that's it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that it would be that I removed from the bike. I took everything out. All right, guys, and also. So I found my computer. Oh my god, it was like on the bottom of my Sauron parts box. I haven't used this thing in like forever. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to put that back on if we want to know how fast we want to go. Okay, and then so there's this wire. Okay, this wire goes right here. See this? 4-pin. Yep. So that's if you want to directly connect your computer. If you don't want to do the Bluetooth dongle. What I'm thinking of doing is just putting a piece of electrical tape around that. We're probably not going to use that, right? But yeah, so I've got a mystery connector here, and I don't know what to do, guys. So it plugs into the throttle box, and it plugs into where the tilt sensor plugs into, but I can't find anything else. All right, here's the side stand switch. All right, maybe it goes to the side stand switch. Nope. This, I believe, connects to the bottom also. All right, there's a bunch of wire connectors down here. This is where that goes. All right, this connects. This used to be where the side stand switch used to be. All right, and it used to connect over here, but it doesn't connect there anymore. Ah, you know what? That 4-pin connector thing, it might connect to. I don't know. It might connect to the DC-DC converter. So yeah, I mean this harness isn't really all that complicated, guys. So. There's only so many wires, unless somebody cut that wire out, you know. I'm pretty sure this is the tilt sensor. All right, these two are together. This is the horn. Yeah, that's the horn. All right, I got the two wires right here. That's a horn. And what's this? What's this 2-pin here? That's a good question. What is this? It goes in here, but it disappears. I don't know what that's for. It's connected to something. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, what the hell? What's going on here? So maybe it connects underneath. It might connect in here somewhere. But like I said, there's probably some stuff missing in there, like the side stand switch and all that stuff. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna stop here tonight. Okay, but yeah, let's go do some comparisons. Well, all that's left to take out is this. I gotta remove this, so that means I gotta take the grip out and the brake out and slide this off, and then take this out. So we won't have this anymore, and then we gotta take this out, and then that's it. That's all the ASI stuff. All right, and then we gotta install the new computer, the old computer, I mean, and then start installing the controller. So we're like 40% there. That's what I say. All right. Anyway, let's do some comparisons. The next video will be some comparisons. All right. But that so far this video is I removed the ASI controller, right? The Electric Race Technologies controller. I've got the harnesses out here. And then I've got a Votal controller from the EMX-Ron kit, all right, the Electro & Co. EMX-Ron kit. We can check that out too, if you guys want to. And yeah, but I got all my old goodies here, all right. It does plug into the throttle box, but this doesn't plug in. This plugs into the bottom. This plugs into at the bottom of the bike. I'm pretty sure it doesn't plug into that. Maybe it's another throttle. Yeah, this could be for a secondary throttle or something. I don't know. Maybe that's your region throttle, Merlin. There's a tilt sensor here. All right, that plugged to that white connector that I was talking about. The wires are totally different than the ones. Okay, I'm not going to put that back. Yeah, and then there's that side stand switch. Okay, but it doesn't connect to any of these, but it can connect to this, but this one is on the bottom, all right? Then yeah, like I said, the ASI controller
only has these two wires coming out, and then this wire. These wires are for the regen throttle and the NXT display. All right, so yeah, I don't know what it's for, so go figure. Okay, so in the next part, we're gonna go. We're just gonna do a quick comparison. I'm not gonna get too nitty gritty into it. We're just gonna take a look at everything. All right. All right, Hayes Mega here. So I'm gonna get ready to install this bad boy. Like I said, I don't know what this does yet, so I'm waiting on KO Technologies to tell me where this goes. All right, because I don't have that on my bike. Maybe it's because I have an MX or something. So I'm kind of like dead in the water tonight. I won't be able to finish this tonight for sure. All right. Yeah, you know what? I don't have the plastic covers. I don't have the covers for this. I don't have the cover for the top of this. I'm missing it. I think I gave it with my old controller. I'm not sure. I might have it. But this one goes to the cowl. I don't know if we need it. It's a good question. I do have the cowl. I'd like to put it back on if we can put it back on. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at tonight. I can install this, but I don't know where to plug this in. I wish they put a plug on this thing, like a waterproof plug, so if we're not going to use it, you know, what we could do is we could plug it in and then hide the USB cable on the bike somewhere. But you know, as much as possible, I don't want to have any extra wires on the bike, man. So I think what I'm going to do is we're just going to use the Bluetooth. All right, guys, we're going to use this guy. We're going to use the Bluetooth. I don't want to be connecting any wires to the freaking bike, you know. I mean, I will if I have to, type of thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of electrical tape on this and then zip tie it. All right. This one, I'm not sure what we're doing with it quite yet. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I've removed the controller, I removed the regen throttle, and I removed the NXT display. All right, so we got to install our old display, all right, this guy, onto the bike. All right, and I'm not really sure how we're going to install it because I got these crazy ass freaking flexible handlebars. I know, Ladies Seconds bike is just like ridiculously not stock, as I want to say. All right, it's highly customized Sauron, as I want to say. All right, there's literally almost nothing stock on this bike anymore, man. Yeah, there's nothing. The only thing stock is like the frame and the swing arm, man. Yeah, literally the frame and the swing arm and the subframe. Other than that, there's not much stock stuff left on this bike, man. I've freaking modified like everything already. The wheels are stock, I guess. Yeah, even the brakes are in stock. Yeah, the brakes are in stock. The sprocket is stock. The brake mount, where the brake mounts on the bracket, it's not stock either, man. I just changed that. Literally almost everything that you could change up. You know what still stock is the foot peg brackets. I still have the foot peg bracket. I have a support brace on there, so yeah, man. Like, you know what? All I can say is I'm pretty amazed at how strong this frame is. I haven't broken the frame yet, so until I've broken the frame, then Hayes Mega will still keep on using this, you know. I don't even have the stock headset anymore. This is well, I mean, it's still a Sauron headset, but yeah, it's the beefy headset. Pretty much everything has been modified on this bike. It's freaking crazy how much time and money I've spent on this bike. All right, anyway, we're going to install this. I believe the connector is in here somewhere, so I'm going to have to fish it up in there. And then, yeah, that's another wire going through there, man. It's kind of annoying. I think it's got to go through the top. That's where I would do it. I would put it through the top, but I got all these wires going through the top already, man. That's just one more wire to stick in there. I don't like it, guys. All right. We'll figure something out, man. The wire's not very long either, man. So it's a 4-pin connector, and it's hiding underneath here. So that's where... I remember I took it off a while ago because it didn't work anymore. I put my Eco and Sport mode switch back in. This was like wrapped around here before because I didn't have enough space because I had the regen throttle. Now that I have it back, hopefully it works because it never worked with the my ASI controller, all right? I would like to have a Sport mode and an Eco mode, you know. Sometimes you need a lot of power, sometimes you don't, you know. If you're just spinning the tires all the freaking time, then you need to lower the power, you know. What could I say? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we got to install this on the bike, and I think that's it for tonight. And then we'll install the controller tomorrow when I could. KO Tech emails me back. That's what I want to say. All right. All right. Here's me out. I will do some more research. I do know that. So I watched a couple videos of people installing the controller on their bike. Not this specific one, but the Nano and the Pro, which is pretty much, it's almost the same. This connector, this white connector goes to a black connector, all right? And I don't, the only black connector that's there is, yeah, the only black connector to plug it into is this right here, right? This will plug into that, but this is a throttle connector. This is not where this is supposed to go. Okay. The throttle connector goes on the bottom of the bike, like I mentioned in an earlier video. So I'm not too sure what's going on, man. I got to figure out where it is. All right, like I mentioned. Okay, so yeah, that's the scoop. I don't know where that wire goes. There's no other extra wires in here. Now there's a wire here, down here, but I don't think it connects there. It's supposed to have a connector up here. So maybe it's because I have a Suron MX. Maybe I don't use that connector. Maybe I don't connect it. I'm not sure, but like. I'm like kind of like at a critical point right now where I'm at a critical point where like I need to plug all this stuff in before I can put the bike back together. If I plug it in and then I don't know what to do later, then yeah. So okay, so anyway, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna cover this up, all right? Because that's a tilt sensor. We're not gonna use that anymore. And then I'm gonna uncover this, and then we're gonna install this somewhere. All right, Hazemaker is thinking of getting the KO display, all right, the tuning display that they have. So I'm probably not going to mount this permanently. I can make a nice mount for it, but I didn't have these handlebars when I had this. Okay, so this is actually supposed to mount on this. All right, it actually mounts on the EP mode switch, but the previous owner took it out and they just zip tied it to things. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to put it on my little mount here, and we're going to zip tie it right here. Okay, for now. Okay, and so yeah, I think that's all I got tonight. I can't do anything else because I don't know I don't know where to connect all these wires. All right. Yet. All right. So I'll do that. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, he's me here. I'm back, and I figured it out. What's going on here? Okay, so it's kind of like what I thought. All right, so this is a Suron MX. Right, this is the very first Suron that came out. These are a little different than the modern your most modern Surons. Right, the Suron X. There's like a couple things different with the harness. One is that this doesn't have this used to run this guy, all right? This throttle box, all right? There's a throttle box with a throttle cable connected to it, mounted on the bottom of the bike, all right? They ditched this when they went to the X, the Suron X, with a electronic one, right? And that's the one that I got right on there right now, okay? And another difference is this bike doesn't have that 3-pin or triangular connector, all right? That was something they added to the Suron X controller, and yeah, that was something they added to the Suron X controller that this bike never had, all right? This bike didn't come with an X controller. Now, I bet maybe if I still had my X controller, I sold it a while ago, so maybe it still has that connector, man. I can't remember. It was so long ago. So I don't have it. I'm not going to connect it. All right, guys. And people kind of don't know what it is. I did send an email to KO Moto, and maybe they know what it does, but I don't. I have no idea what it does. All right. Okay. So right here on the Suron X, there should be a third connector here. All right. These are the connectors that go to the controller. So, but the MX does not have that. All right. So what I'm going to do is just not connect it. All right. That's why the other controller kits I had didn't have it. All right. For whatever reason, the Suron X controller uses that for something. All right. I think it's some kind of data connector or something, but we don't really need it. We're going to program the controller through other means, all right, type of thing, all right. So what I'm going to do with the triangular connector is just put a piece of tape around it and then zip tie it closed, all right. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to connect these two, all right, and then we'll leave this one out, hanging out there. That's if we want to connect the computer to it, okay. So all right, hooray, we're back on track. Okay, so yeah, we're just not going to connect this. All right, so I don't know why the newer Surons have this connector, all right, but mine doesn't have it, so we can't use it. We don't have it in the first place. We have nothing to connect it to. It does connect to a throttle. Yeah, it does connect to this, but I don't think that's what it is, all right, because this goes on the bottom of the bike. This shouldn't go anywhere near where this is, so yeah, I don't think it's that. And it's a black connector. It's not a white one like the tilt sensor. It should be another black connector. So this should go to a black connector. Yeah, so here's the tilt sensor. I mean, yeah, I guess it could connect to the tilt sensor because this is the exact same connector, right? Boom. All right, so yeah, this could connect to the one that's on the bike. The tilt sensor, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. All right, yeah, so we're gonna cover this up. All right, that's for the tilt sensor, and then yeah, we're not putting that tilt sensor back, and we're gonna cover this up. Okay, this could plug into the tilt sensor. I'm pretty sure that's not for the tilt sensor, guys. Okay, and I even went into the wiring diagram and I looked and I was like, where the hell does this go? There's nothing that has 3 wires coming out of the Suron controller. So yeah, I have no idea what it does, but we're just not going to connect it. Okay, so I think it should be fine. I will let you know. Yeah, so I'm going to call that it for tonight. I'll pick this up tomorrow, and then yeah, I'll let you know if KO Moto emails me back. All right, they'll probably be like, hey, do you have a Suron MX? Then, well, you don't have that. So okay, yes, we got. Mystery solved. All right, hey, he's back here. It's the next day, and we're gonna get ready to install this controller. All right, so as you can see, I've got some electrical tape out here and some dielectric grease. So the mystery plug I covered up. By the way, KO Moto did not reply to my email. What was yesterday? Yesterday was a Friday. Well, I emailed them Friday night, so it's probably like Saturday in China or something. So yeah, well, I will let you guys know if I get a reply on Monday or Tuesday. If they don't, that's all bad. You know, they should answer their emails, especially about technical stuff, man. But yeah, this is the mystery connector here. We're just not going to connect it. Okay, so like I mentioned, Suron Lightbee MX does not have that connector. Okay, so we're just not going to use it. So we're just going to use these. I will leave this uncovered for now because I want to test out this little adapter they gave you. All right, to plug directly into the bike. We'll try this and we'll try this. All right, when we start to do the programming and all that good stuff. Okay. I did add, so yeah, I added a cover over it, all right? I just wrapped it with some electrical tape and then put zip ties around it, okay? And then this is just going to disappear into the cavity, right, basically. And then for this one, I put some dielectric grease around the seal, all right? The rubber part around the seal here, okay? I put dielectric grease around it so it has a better seal. These ones already have some grease on it on the other end, so I'm not sweating those too much. Okay, and then yeah, that's it. So we're gonna go plug this into the bike. Let's go check out what I got going on at the bike right now. I've put the speedometer back on. All right, I put my little mount here. It's just kind of temporary. I just threw it on there. Hopefully they'll get that new display out soon, and hopefully it'll be affordable. Okay, and yeah, so. The wire goes down here, it goes through here, and it goes up in here. Okay, it's this one right here, I think, and it's a 4-pin connector. All right, so I just plugged that back in. All right, that was not. I think there was a piece of tape around it. I took it off a long time ago because it just stopped working, you know. And hopefully it'll work again. Alright, so here's our two connectors we gotta connect. Alright, they look like they're all gooped up, so I think they should be good. I might put some grease around the edge on the outside of the connector. I think that's it. And then I just put some electrical tape around some, I put some zip ties around some electrical tape that was kind of loose. This one was kind of, I think I put electrical tape here because this is exposed. This is the positive for the USB, the 12 volts. And I think we're ready to put it on, so let's go do it. Alright, so yeah, I got like zip tie tails all over the place, and yeah, so okay, hopefully I still have the bolts and stuff for this. We'll see. Okay, I do have the cowl. Alright, let me get the cowl, buddy, right here. I do still have the cowl. Alright. I don't know if I have the bolts for it. I have one of the bolts. I found one of them, so I don't know if we're going to put this back or not. We'll find out when we put the controller on. Okay. I don't think the controller mounts to this, but I think this little bottom part, it does mount to it. Okay, so that's where this goes. Okay, it goes onto here, where these screws are. So maybe we'll put it on, maybe we won't. It depends on how it looks. All right. So I don't really care if it's there or not, as long as it, you know, if it looks kind of goofy, then I don't want it on there, type of thing. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and install it. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I've also busted out my tuning laptop. All right, this is the laptop that I use to flash the firmware for the NXT display. All right, this guy right here. All right, I use that, and I'm going to use it to be tuning my my KO controller. Okay, so that's the way it's going to work. We'll use the USB dongle. I think this has a Bluetooth. I'm not sure. I should probably look at it. I think it does have Bluetooth, so we may not even need the dongle. Not a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I think this might be my only laptop that has it, and I don't know why it has it. Okay, and this thing is running on like Windows XP, so that's a good question. I wonder if that Bluetooth dongle will even work on this, because I don't know if it has a USB driver for it and stuff. So yeah, we'll figure that out when we get there. All right, guys. Yeah, having the PC to do all this stuff is kind of annoying, but I think, you know, in my honest opinion, I think once you get it set up, I think it's fine. Okay. But yeah, it is kind of a hassle to break out your PC whenever you want to change settings. I kind of don't like that. Okay, but yeah, there is the phone app. We can try the phone app too, but we have to use the PC app first. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and install it. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so I put a light coating of dielectric grease on the connectors. All right, just on the very front part of the connector where it's going to go inside the other one. All right, and then just a teeny bit on the face. All right, it's good to have a little bit of lube on there, right, so it goes in nice and smoothly. Okay, right. So I went and plugged the two connectors in, this one and this one, the triangular one and the square one. I had a little trouble getting the square one. I was watching some videos of people putting theirs in, and they would have trouble putting the square one in also, but it went in pretty smoothly. And then I didn't really hear it click, but I took it out and I made sure it clicked. So okay, so that should be good. I've got the data connector right here, and then our mystery connector right there. Okay, so that means we can go put the battery door back on. All right, our battery wall. That's what I call it. All right. Okay. I got the battery wall back in. It looks a lot cleaner without the wires all hanging out there. There's a lot of wire, a lot of wires and connectors back there, man. I don't know what to do with them all. Yeah, the challenge will be trying to get this thing back in here. Okay, so hopefully we can figure that out when the time comes. Okay. Okay, so it's time to install the controller. Let's go do it. So I have the main wire harness connector for the controller hanging out here. All right, we'll see where that goes. I don't have a tilt sensor, so I was wondering if I could route it underneath the tilt sensor, but we'll figure that out. If I'm going to do that, I have to move the battery wall again though. So then here's our mystery connector. We'll try to shove that up in here somehow. do something with it. Alright, let's go install this controller. Okay, we're getting ready to install this bad boy. So one thing I'd like to note, so the terminals are just screws, alright? They're these really big screws here. It's kind of annoying. I like the ones on the BAC controller better because it's kind of like a bolt and a screw at the same time, alright? So if you do strip one or whatever, you know, and there's no torque spec on this, alright? I didn't see any kind of torque spec anywhere. This should have a sticker somewhere stating a torque spec or something, but they don't, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to tighten it snug, okay? So that's one thing I do like about the BSC controller. It has bolts with screws in it, so you could use either one. All right. So I think the first thing that we're going to connect is the phase wires. Okay, so each screw has a locking washer and a locking nut. Okay, so you don't have to tighten it too tight. That's what I'm going to say. All right, yeah, let me just take all the screws out first. It's the fun part, guys. It's the fun part. They look like they're all exactly the same, so you could probably put them back wherever you want. Okay, I'm not really sure I should put any kind of grease on this. I'm just going to put it on dry, okay? We will do the battery wires last because it gets a little tight. Okay, so I've got the yellow here, the green here, and the blue. Let's do the blue first. The blue looks like it's... I gotta get the blue on the left, and it looks like it's tangled around the yellow. Or it's tangled around the green. Get the blue under the green, under the skid plate. Yeah, I don't like how tight this skid plate is with the Spec dealie. Okay, but anyway, there we go. Let's go connect the blue. Sorry, it's kind of a mess, but so I'm just gonna lay. Oh boy, there's no space. It's like installing a stock Surround controller. However, I haven't installed a stock Surround controller in a while. Okay, the important thing is to not torque it too tight also. Right, you may mess up the brass terminal or something. Well, the nice thing is you can just sit it down on the wheel. let me get a stubby screwdriver. Okay, got some stubby screwdrivers here because there's not a whole lot of room to work with. That's what I want to say. Okay, I'm just gonna install all these and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll just speed up the video. Okay, phase wires connected. Blue to blue. So another thing is you kind of can't tell what color they are when they're installed. It's okay. Alright, and now we're going to install the black here. I'm wondering if maybe you should upgrade. I'm going to clean these off. They look kind of dirty. Okay, I got a brass wire brush here, and we're just going to clean these off a little bit. They look like they're a little dirty. I want this to be clean. Okay, there it is. And now we're just gonna connect the harness connector. Oh, I thought it was gonna go through the other side. Damn it, I got it backwards. Just come out this side. All right. Move this out over here. Freaking fender's in the way. Okay, so this connector has it's like angled this way, right? So these are like 90 degrees, right? And then these ones have like a little notch on the side here. So the notch is on this side, so we got it right however we want it. Okay, connect it. You know what I want to do first is peel this little condom back. Okay, first connect it in there. Okay, let it snap. Put the little cover back on. Okay, we're nearly done. Now we just got to get this up in here somehow. Man, I don't remember how the old Sauron one goes on. Okay, I got a problem here. The problem is that little bundle, that little rubber protective thingy with all the bundle of connectors in it is hitting the bottom of this. All right, so I'll figure out how to get it in there. Let's check out the other side. What's going on there? Here's what's going on this side. Yeah, you can clearly see this guy is in the way, so I don't know what to do. I didn't have that problem. The BSC 4000 was not that big a controller, so alright, I'll figure it out. I've managed to get, the phase wires have to bend a whole lot, man. A whole lot. It's really tight in there, man. This controller is like fucking massive, dude. Okay, yeah, so I got the bottom screws in. These two are both in here, but the problem is this is too high. This won't reach to the tilt sensor. Well, what's the dealie there, man? Maybe I gotta flip the tilt sensor around? I can do that. I can't remember if I had it, which way I had it before, man. Yeah, we may have to flip the tilt sensor around to fit this. Because look, it doesn't line up. The holes don't line up. Yeah, it's too low. So I might have to do that. I might have to flip the tilt sensor around. The tilt sensor bracket, because that's where it mounts to. Okay, so these two go here. These two go here, and I think the cowl goes right here. You may not put it back. There's like not a lot of room, man. There's not a lot of room, man. This controller sticks out a lot too, man. Let's see if ooh, look at that, it barely clears. Hallelujah. So that's one of the things Hades Vega was worried about. My fender not clearing this, and as you can see, it just did. So cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this tilt sensor around backwards. All right. I just have to unbolt this and this right here, and it should come out. And then hopefully it'll fit, because it don't fit, man. The holes are too low. If I flip this around, it'll be higher. So maybe I remember I took it out for some reason, because I was installing that stupid controller, the Votal one, and it didn't fit so good in here. So I had to fiddle around. I had to take the tilt sensor out so it would fit. But let's try flipping this. I don't remember, but like, yeah, it doesn't line up. So okay, I got the tilt sensor out. So we're gonna flip it. All right, so the holes are on the bottom. We're gonna flip it so the holes are on the top. All right, maybe that's the way it was before. Dude, I can't remember, but let's put it back on. Okay, what a pain in the ass, man. That BSC controller was way easier to install. Anyway, so I got it in. I had to get some longer bolts. These ones are too small. This is the one for the BSC controller. It's way too long. All right, so now I got a problem. So now that I've got the two bolts in here, these bottom ones don't fit. The bottom ones are too damn high now. They were too low. Yeah, it was too low before. Now it's too high. So what the hell, dude? So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, guys. It's not going in. Yeah. So So what I could do is probably loosen the bolts here. All right, I have to take it out again, loosen the bolts, and then move this bracket up. Right? Yeah, I got to move the bracket up. All right. We can't flip the brackets because then it would be too high, right? I don't know what this other one is for also. So, okay. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take it out again, and then we're gonna loosen this and then move the bracket up. Now, hopefully it'll slide up. If not, I'm gonna have to slot it so we can slide it up. So yeah, what a pain in the ass. I don't know. Is this how it's supposed to install? Because it's a pain in the ass, man. It's starting to piss me off, man. All right, here we go. Okay, I've gone ahead and loosened the bolts. There is just like a tiny bit of play, just a teeny tiny bit of play, man. So I'm gonna go push this up and tighten it, and then hopefully that'll do the trick. All right. All right. If not, we're gonna have to slot it a little bit so it'll go up, slot it downwards so it'll move up a little bit. Yeah, I can't believe this thing needs some kind of fitment, man. This is kind of annoying. All right, there it is. I got it on there. So just moving the bracket up that teeny tiny bit of amount, it did the trick. All right. So what I did is I put the bottom ones in first, then I put the top ones, and then it was okay. So it's like really at the top of it, but I think it'll be fine. Let's see. Just finish tightening this up. Cool thing is I can stick the Allen wrench straight through my fender here and it'll go in. Okay, yeah, that's good. No locking washer. I might want to put one of those on there because these spec out sometimes, so I might want to do that, or put some Loctite on it. I could do one or the other. All right, so let's finish tightening these up. Okay, I put some anti-seize compound on the bolts. It's like the threads are all rusty and stuff. Okay, one thing you'll notice is that there's a gap here. Right? So there's supposed to be this plastic cover that's on the stock Sauron controller, and you could it's optional. You could put it on here if you want. That's what these holes are for, right here. All right. It kind of bothers me that there's a gap here now. Which I think is good because like air could go in here and it could cool the battery down, I guess. So it's not too bad, but yeah, dirt and mud and crap is gonna get in there now. Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of annoying. It would be nice to have the cover there. I might fabricate something in the future. It's just a little piece of plastic, a black plastic flappy thing that goes up in there. Okay, here. See the hole where the horn was? Oh yeah, you know what, the horn requires that you put a bolt through there. I might stick my horn back on. Like, I don't like having this big old hole here too. Okay, anyway, this is the horn wire right here. I just tightened these. I might, like I said, I'll probably put some I'll put some Loctite on it. Okay, this one right here. Okay, that should be good. So this one, I'm not really sure what this is for. All right, maybe that's for if you mount this controller on a different bike, or maybe it's for a Talaria or something. But yeah, so there it is. It fits. There's a lot of space, man. Yeah, there's a lot of space. I was afraid that this wouldn't fit with this because it has a pretty massive heatsink. So what leads me to believe is if we did get the Rush controller, so the Rush is the one that came out after this, all right? It's an even more powerful controller. It's probably more power than you need on a Sauron, all right? It's thicker, all right? So, but they say you can mount it on a Sauron, so I think we could probably put the Rush controller on here and it would still clear, okay? So that's cool. So I was worried about this not fitting, these big old heat sinks not fitting with this, but it fits just fine. All right. So there is a cowl that goes here. Yeah, for the most part, we're done installing it already. I just have to put the horn back and the ignition cover back, and it will be in business. And then maybe tidy up these wires and stuff. So yeah, let me go find my horn. I've got all these extra bolts around. I think this is the bolt for the cowl. The cowl goes right here. Okay, I will see if we can put that. Let's go find that. All right, here's the cowl. All right. I think it's supposed to go Yeah, pretty sure it's supposed to go like this. So there's some holes under here. Yeah, looks like, yeah, there's some holes under here where this goes. It connects to this. It's up to you if you want to install it. Let's see, yeah, let's see if we can get it on there. If I can put it in there, I'll put it in there, alright? Less places for mud and dirt to get in. Sounds good to me. Yeah, dude, this motor is massive, dude. These wires, dude, they're so tight in there, man. There's not a lot of wiggle room behind that controller. They really jam-packed everything in there. The BSC controller sticks out more, so there's kind of more space for everything back in there. So that's just kind of the trade-off there, all right? If you want it all tucked up in there, there's not a lot of space back here. A lot of the wires are, you know, going in there at like tight angles and stuff, but you get more clearance in the front, okay? All right, so yeah, let's see if this cowl fits. Okay, I think it might fit, but I have to take the skid plate out, and I'm on, and I got my bike on the stand right now, so I can't take the skid plate out. So yeah, you can see it lines up with the hole there and everything. So that's kind of how it's gonna look. I think this is gonna be behind the skid plate, and then this would be like right here. I think, I hate to say it, I think I don't want it on there. Okay. I want a maximum cooling for the controller, so we want cooling to get to this, and then cooling for the motor, alright? Also, I know there's a lot of stuff in there, but yeah, that's why I have this little scoop here. I made the hole as big as possible for Super Moto, so air could get in there, so we don't cook the motor. But, you know, I got a bigger, more efficient motor now, so I don't know if we really need that, but yeah, I'd like to keep this thing as cool as possible, you know, so I'll say. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it off for now. So I think we're done. We'll put the horn back on. All right, let me put the horn back on, and then we'll put the ignition switch back, and then we'll go fire her up, and then try to do some programming. All right. All right. Guess what? I got it up in there. Boom! There it is. It's done. It's kind of dirty now. So I was able to get the horn back in. I couldn't find the bolt for it, so I grabbed the bracket, the bolt that was for the old bracket for the BAC 4000, and I stuck it in there, and it actually fit. Okay, and it's actually backwards. It's supposed to be the bolt is supposed to go out this way, but I find it's easier to go this way because gravity helps you. All right. So I got my horn back. Awesome. So now I can honk people when I'm at the racetrack and let them know I'm behind them. Like, hey, get out of my way. I'm faster than you, type of thing, right? Factory spec. Excellent. All right, so there's gaps, there's big gaps here. All right, if I had the cowl in there, it would cover this all up. All right, not gonna lie. It's kind of ugly looking at the DC-DC converter, but it'll keep that stuff cool. The only thing is, yeah, rocks and dirt and stuff is gonna get in there, and there's not a whole lot of space. All right, so one thing I don't like about this motor is it's freaking huge, man. There's not a lot of space for anything back there, man. So if rocks and stuff come out of here, then yeah, it's gonna get stuck on the motor and stuff, and yeah, we're gonna have a rock pile in there or something. I'll just have to empty it every once in a while. I'm not too worried about water. If water gets in there, it'll just go out through the back, so that's not a big deal, type of thing. But yeah, there's a big void here. There's a scoop here, so that's good. So the good thing about having all these holes and openings and stuff here, only thing is there's a tab here. There's a tab under there for the cowl. That's gonna block airflow. So if we want, oh, we can take it out. I don't know. Oh no, it's part of it. Yeah, we could cut that out, I guess, but that's okay. But yeah, there's a scoop here. It's a little bit blocked by with the cowl mounting, but yeah, there's a scoop here to allow air in and cool this. All right. So air goes in, air goes around, goes underneath, that type of thing, and cools the motor. At least it cools the front part of the motor. But if you can cool the front part of the motor, the heat likes to go towards the coolest part of the motor, right? So the heat will transfer to the back somehow. Okay, hopefully. But yeah, you'll have one part of the motor hotter than others. Okay. What else? So another thing I did is I added these hose clamps or wire clamps or whatever to the side here. All right, so I use that that one, what is it, the threaded hole here, all right, there's two threaded holes. There's one right here and one right here. You could use that to mount, to route wire through the frame, all right. So, so the thing about the cowl, all right, and if you guys don't know what the cowl, like right over there, all right. So, if you don't know about the cowl, it's that plastic piece that goes here, and one of its purposes is to hold the wire in tight on the body, all right, and it's not anymore. So I suppose I could have this, I could flip this the other way and it'll be tighter up on the body, but then it won't line up with this one here. Okay, so that's why I decided to put it low like that. All right, so basically these aren't going anywhere. All right, it's just hold the wire. What you don't want, all right, the reason this is here and you want it to be like inside the frame is because when you're riding on a trail or something, a twig or something could get caught on this and rip this out, all right? So I would feel more comfortable if it was in here, all right? But that's the best we can do, okay? Yeah, I guess what I could do is flip this out around, and then the wire will be up here, and it'll go like this or something. It'll like kind of kink it a little bit, so kind of don't want to do that. I just want to leave it straight like that. But anyway, that's what we used. I put two clamps here. This one was here already. I used it for the other controller, but I added another one right here. So I guess that's what, it wasn't doing anything, so I put something in there. Okay, you can see the battery wires back here. Okay. There's a little bit of a gap here. There's a gap here. You can see the little condom or connector protector thing here. All right. Yeah, it's pretty crowded back there. Not gonna lie, dude. There's a lot going on in there, man. Yeah. Okay, so there it is. It's on there. And then as you can see, there's plenty of clearance. Plenty of clearance for the fender. The fender has plenty of clearance, all right? And this fender doesn't move, all right? So it's always going to be like that, all right? So you don't have to worry about, hopefully you don't have to worry about mud packing up on this thing. I'd imagine, yeah, a lot of mud will get packed up on this heatsink, man. I know. Makes me not want to ride this thing off-road, but okay, I put this clamp back in. This one was off too. So the last time I took the controller off and I put it back on was when I swapped the motors on this for the Treasure Island TT, and I only had like I like an hour to do it. All right, I quickly swapped the motor, and I connected the connectors, and then I had to swap the controller too, and yeah, it was like freaking nightmare, man. So there was a lot of stuff that I didn't attach to the bike, and I forgot to attach that. All right, and now I got my horn back. So the little hole here, actually, this isn't right. Ugh. This should be over the hole a little more. Okay, I might want to move that a little bit. But yeah, it looks good. The fender's on there and everything. So these don't move, but you can see the hoses don't have any problem. All right, it is fine. Okay, so this is the throttle wire, and this is the. I'm probably gonna put a zip tie here and zip tie it to this little clamp here, so it's a little tighter in there. Okay, but that's the throttle wire and the brake, the rear brake. Okay, so that's it. I was able to get this guy in there. This is in there real tight, man. What the heck, man. So it's always a pain trying to put that thing back. So hopefully this is what it looks like underneath there. If you guys are wondering. Pretty crowded. All right, here's the battery wire again. Here's the data cable. All right, so we can plug our computer into there when we're doing the programming and all that. What else? Yeah, and then there's this guy, the breaker, and then I think this is the battery. This is the battery data cable for the stock Suron. I just plugged it back there. Okay, but yeah, looks good. Hopefully these wires don't get all caught up in anything. I want to tidy this up a little bit more, but it's only so much I can do, man. It's hard to get stuff back into that little cavity, you know. Okay, anyway, that's it. We're done. We just got to tidy up, and then we'll go fire the bike up, and then we'll start programming the first thing we got to do is install the new firmware. I don't know what firmware is installed there, but we need to install the firmware that has the 72 volt settings and stuff in it. All right, there's a special firmware file that we need to install for the motor and the battery that we're using. Okay, we're using a 72 volt battery. All right, I'm gonna go clean up. And so that's what the next video will focus on, firing it up the first time and trying to connect it to the computer.